Good morning, Mr. Emitum. Do you have a lawyer today?
No, representing myself.
You were charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. It looks like you also, out of the same charge, picked up a fraud as well. I mean, okay, you can represent yourself. It's your absolute right. I mean, I don't know how smart it is. Have you ever represented yourself
Yeah,
before?
many times.
And how did that go?
I have many dismissals.
For what kind of cases?
I had a dismissal on unlawful carry before.
And you represented yourself?
Yes.
In this court?
Harris County.
Just found no PC.
Oh, well, I found no probable cause. That's why I got dismissed. You didn't represent yourself.
I was representing myself, but the judge did find no probable cause.
I found, wait, was it me?
No, it wasn't you.
It was.
Well, I don't know. I think it was you.
June 9, 2022.
I found no probable cause.
I think that was you.
You didn't represent yourself for nothing, man. I did it. No. Okay. So, well, you can hope and wish and.
Welcome to today's breakdown, and buckle up because this one is going to be a roller coaster. We got Judge Fler, known for his razor-sharp wit and zero-tolerance attitude, facing off with none other than a sovereign citizen. Now, if you've ever seen one of these cases, you already know the chaos is about to unfold. Sovereign citizens believe they're above the law, often claiming bizarre loopholes and made-up legal jargon to dodge accountability. But here's the twist. Judge Fler isn't just any judge. He's got the patience, sarcasm, and legal firepower to dismantle these arguments piece by piece.
So we're in the middle of trial now. And so I don't have the time to go through all of what they're called Faretta warnings to see whether you should represent yourself. I'm happy to do that. Why don't we delay it off like a week? Are you working at this time?
Yeah, and I stay in Austin. I don't live in Houston, so.
What do you do for a living?
I have my own business.
Doing what?
Resell clothing, audio production.
How much money do you make a month?
I can't tell you, but it pays the bills.
You're very cryptic in all of your answers, and not only that, but you going to Austin, if you represent yourself, you're going to have to meet with the DAs on a constant basis to get evidence. So that's going to require you to come here to Houston quite a bit.
I was ready to file my motion today if I needed to be.
Okay. Before I do that, though, I need to have a Faretta hearing. If you're willing to wait, we can do that a little bit later when I take a break in trial.
I had my other case upstairs the same day. The judge from when I came to my last year. Have you been up
there yet?
No, I haven't been up there yet.
Okay, so go up there. When you're done, come back down here. Don't forget to come back. If you don't come back, I'm going to issue a warrant.
This is where Judge Fler shines. He doesn't just take the defendant's word at face value. Notice how the judge immediately challenges the idea that the defendant has been successfully representing himself. The defendant brags about dismissals, but the judge corrects him. Those dismissals weren't because of his so-called skills. They were because of procedural issues or lack of probable cause. This is important because it shows a pattern. Sovereign citizens often claim victories that aren't really wins. They confuse judicial errors or legal technicalities with proof of their brilliance. The judge dismantles that myth early, setting the tone. He's not buying into the narrative.
Okay, so the reason that we're putting this on the record now is Mr. Emitum has been charged with the offense of unlawful carrying of a weapon. The case is 40 days old. It appears that probable cause has already been found. I don't know if I did probable cause on this, or I don't know if another judge did, because I don't remember Mr. Emitum, and I was out a week. Yeah, lollygagging. So let's just do it first.
On August 2nd, 2024, officers observed a car without a front license plate, changed lanes without a signal, and have expired registration as of March 2023. Upon approaching, officers smelled marijuana. PC search returned 4.17 grams and a Lotus Smith & Wesson handgun. Additionally, there was a backpack with 3 checks that did not belong to him. Officer called Kumamoto, who said the checks were stolen from her restaurant on July 8th. When defendant broke the front window, went to the back where the checks were kept in the office, broke the hinge of the back door, and exited.
So as a result, because of that, he was charged with felony fraud on that one,
That's
on the
correct.
check. Okay. Yes, he has an open case in the 182nd. Looks like he made a $15,000 bond. With us, I am going to find there's probable cause to go forward. Well, hold on a second. We'll get there. I'll let you say your piece, but do you have a Texas driver license?
I have a US dot private property number with the FMCSA. What my vehicle was on there, it was sticker tags, everything with my business, the Amazon States. That's what the Department of Transportation.
Is that from the state of Texas or from where?
This is federal. This is with the Department of Transportation.
Okay, no, but you still need a Texas driver license and you need registration and
I did
on a
all my steps
vehicle.
with them because it was private property that I had. They said I didn't, if I didn't need to get registration with the state of Texas because I registered it again.
This moment right here highlights just how tangled the defendant's legal web has become. Not only is he juggling charges in this courtroom, but he's also got other pending cases upstairs. Thing about that, multiple criminal cases, overlapping charges, and yet he's insisting on representing himself. This is the equivalent of walking into a lion's den with a stake strapped to your chest. The FAR at a hearing is critical. It's the judge's chance to ensure the defendant truly understands the risks of self-representation. And trust me, most sovereign citizens fail this test spectacularly because they rely on ideology, not legal knowledge.
With the US side, I wouldn't have to register it with the state of Texas, with the registration or licensing. I do have my own place with that vehicle too as well, so.
Do you need a license to drive, a Texas driver license? That's it. You either have one or you don't. The federal government has regulated to the states through the Constitution that they have allowed the states on their own initiative to create laws regarding driving on highways and byways. So that's why you see every single state has different requirements for licensing, insurance, mode of transportation. The federal government has somewhat to do with it, but by and large, they have delegated to the states that they are their own entity with regard to creating laws in their specific highways. So that's why every single state has a different type of license, different type of insurance. Like the Texas driver license is what, white, versus Arkansas might be yellow or red, or Hawaii might be. So that's every single state has their own laws with regard. In Texas, you have to have a Texas driver license. You also have to have liability insurance as a minimum in the event that you get into an accident. Those are the two main requirements that you need to drive. If you're going to drive a vehicle, it also has to be registered so that they know that.
And there it is, the bombshell. Not only was this man caught with marijuana and a weapon, but officers also found stolen checks linked to a break-in at a restaurant. That's not just bad luck. That's incriminating evidence stacking up fast. This is a classic moment where sovereign citizens often pivot. Instead of addressing hard evidence, they start spouting legal nonsense about jurisdiction, private property, and federal loopholes. Notice how Judge Fler doesn't even flinch. He lays out the facts. Expired registration, no license plate, marijuana, a handgun, stolen checks. It's a mountain of issues in the defense strategy. I don't need a license because I'm a private citizen. Yeah, good luck with that.
Like on what's it called, on the light, it's got to be right there. They even tell you how many centimeters it's supposed to be from the street to the actual place on the car. That's how bad the state of Texas micromanages all these things. They even tell you how many damn centimeters it's got to be on the car. So you have to have a front license plate. You got to have a license, got to have insurance. So if you don't have that, you can't drive. And that's it.
Yeah, I didn't tell him I was traveling. I wasn't arguing with him, but I was traveling. I wasn't making commerce. I used to do medical transportation, so I'm kind of aware with licensing and registration and everything. That's why with my private vehicles, I did that with the US DOT instead of the state. And I didn't know that was
Correct.
interference.
You need a license. It doesn't matter whether you're saying you're conveying, whether you're traveling, whether you're, driving, it's a privilege. It's not a right, right? There's a big difference between a privilege versus a right. You have the right to
I
walk.
have the right to travel, don't
Yeah, and taking your happy-go-lucky feet. You want to travel? Take those 2 feet to travel, not in a car.
I? Just what the 14th Amendment was saying, like, I have the right to travel.
You do. Yes, and you can walk your happy ass from one part to the other part.
This is gold. Judge Fler literally says he's been waiting for this moment. And you can feel why. Sovereign citizens often try to talk over judges, twist words, or play games with common law and contracts. But Fler, he actually enjoys shutting these arguments down. The laughter isn't cruelty, it's confidence. He knows the law is airtight, and he's about to shred every single pseudo-legal excuse the defendant throws out. This is also a lesson for viewers. Judges aren't intimidated by sovereign citizen antics. In fact, many are well-trained in spotting these tactics and flipping them on their head.
A lien on absolutely everything that you own to satisfy the judgment they get against you. And they will take your house, they will take your car, they will take your bank account, they will attach to where if you ever want to start working and get a paycheck, they're going to garnish all that money. You have insurance, liability insurance, so that if you ever get into an accident, you don't mean to do it. You didn't mean to kill the kid. It's not an purposement. It's an accident. And accidents happen. You might be looking at your phone, you're looking at, this pretty girl that's walking across the street, and then boom, you have insurance so that if that happens, the insurance company will pay on your behalf so you don't have to pay out of your own pocket. And they will even give you a lawyer to represent you on your behalf because that's what you pay for when you get insurance. If you get into an accident, lawyers usually call you and say, hey, man, tell me what happened. Was it your fault? Or was it the other people's fault? Because we want to know who to pay. And that's why for $30 to $40 a month, you get insurance for that very purpose. And I've seen people come here, they have killed someone, and they get a $250,000 judgment against them. I've seen it. And
here's the educational moment. Notice how the judge doesn't just say you're wrong. He actually gives a breakdown of why licensing and insurance laws exist. It's not about oppression or government control. It's about accountability and public safety. Imagine a 5-year-old getting hit by a driver with no insurance, no license, and no accountability. Who pays for that? The victim's family? Taxpayers? No, this is why laws exist. And the way Judge Fler frames it is brilliant. He strips away the ideology and makes it personal. Suddenly, it's not about sovereign rights. It's about real consequences, real victims, and real responsibilities.
Time, but you also need a lawyer to represent you.
I found my own discovery. I was representing myself pro se.
And you can do that if you want.
Yeah.
But we have to go through a series of questions.
I represented myself plenty of times. I had dismissals here from Harris County.
And for purposes of the record, so Mr. Emitom had a case with me here. It was actually June 7th of 2022. He was charged with another gun case. And that was with Victor Victoriano. God, that was a great DA too. And I found no probable cause in that case, right? So you didn't represent yourself in that case. I found no probable cause and they dismissed it. They didn't have to dismiss it, but they did dismiss it. So other than that case, have you ever represented yourself?
Yeah, many times. I have dismissals all through here from Harris County. Traffic violations.
You're welcome to do it, and who's one of the worst? Who's one of the best presidents that in history that you can think about right now?
Wonderful to me right now.
You can't think of one good president that we've ever had?
I don't know any.
Abraham Lincoln, he wasn't good?
I never met him. I don't know about him at that time.
Abraham Lincoln said something. He goes, you know what? He who represents himself.
This is the knockout punch in terms of wisdom. Judge Fler invokes Abraham Lincoln, reminding everyone that self-representation is almost always a losing strategy. And think about the irony. The defendant claims he's beating the system, but in reality, he's just proving the quote true. He's emotionally invested, legally untrained, and blind to his own weaknesses. By breaking down the bias of self-representation, the judge isn't just speaking to the defendant. He's speaking to every viewer watching. It's a warning. Don't confuse confidence with competence. In law, that mistake can cost you your freedom.
Chuck for a whole year, because that's what you're facing. You're facing a year in jail, and you got a bunch of other documents too that, so
My discovery from that last month that I
well,
filed.
let's do the question. So what is your full name?
Eton, she's Roque Amaton.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 34.
Where were you born?
In America.
Were you born here in Houston? Were you born in,
From Texas.
okay. You read and write English, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any learning disabilities or communication handicaps? Have you ever been declared mentally incompetent or treated for any mental health disorder? Okay. You said last time I asked you about your educational background, you graduated from high school.
Graduated high school, some college.
How far did you get in college?
About 2.5 years.
Did you do any legal courses whatsoever?
Left that and I started doing medical transportation. I was taking classes for paramedics. I was just doing my basics. I was doing my basics.
Studying in college.
I was just doing my basics. I ain't getting into it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. And when you're beginning, that's all you do anyways, right? Do you have any legal training, education, or experience?
I've had experience with dealing with the court being charged before.
And any other legal? Do you know about the Code of Criminal Procedure?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Do you know about the Texas Penal Code?
I'm familiar, but I'm not too familiar with a lot of statutes and codes.
Were you here for our earlier trial?
No, I went
I know you went to the felony court, but we were in trial earlier. Did you see what happened in trial earlier?
I had like a glimpse of it walking.
Okay. What I'm trying to say is that the lawyers on both sides had to introduce evidence. There's a specific procedure that you have to follow to have evidence admitted. It's detailed in the codes. You have to know that, because once you represent yourself, I'm going to treat you as if you were a lawyer. I will hold you to the same standard. And I'm not here to put you through law school because I have way too much drama as it is. I don't need any more drama, right? So if you don't do it the right way, I'm going to shut you down, right?
And there it is, the reality check. The judge lays it out. If the defendant insists on representing himself and loses, he could face a year in jail, plus the weight of multiple charges. This isn't just a scolding, it's a lifeline. The judge is giving him every chance to make the smart move. But arrogance is often the downfall of sovereign citizens. They mistake patience for weakness and legal procedure for a loophole. But in the end, the law doesn't bend ideology. So what do you think? Was Judge Fler too lenient? Or did he strike the perfect balance of humor, authority, and education?